Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode with Kate and Mel. In our previous video, we talked about the Dumping of Waste at Sea Act in which the nickel plant spill in the Basamuk area was briefly discussed. In this video, we will emphasize on the environmental damage caused by this mine spill in the Madang province.
On the 24th of August 2019, a pipe filled with 200,000 liters of toxic slurry containing a liquid mixture of manure, cement, and coal spilled into the Basamuk Bay in the Rai Coast district of Madang province. The toxic waste belonged to the Kurumbukari mine, owned and managed by the Metallurgical Corporation of China. The world-class Ramu Nickel project integrates mining and refining of minerals and is located in Madang province, Papua New Guinea. It is comprised of laterite open pit mining, high-pressure acid leaching, deep-sea tailings placement, commonly known as DSTP, as well as a number of supporting facilities. The Kurumbukari mine is located on a plateau between 600 to 800 meters above sea level on the southern side of Ramu River Valley. It is situated 75 kilometers southwest of Madang. The mining operation also comprises of a pipeline that transports its waste along a 135-kilometer long pipeline to the processing plant located on the coast at Basamuk, 55 kilometers southeast of Madang. The Basamuk processing plant carries out high-pressure acid leaching along with a deep-sea tailings placement system that involves disposing of the tailings in deep-sea water off the coast.
The spill was first investigated by the Conservation, Environment and Protection Authority and then by an oil spill consultant from Switzerland, Dr. Alex Mojan, who was there to investigate the spill by the initiative of the Madang government. Dr. Alex Mojan, a petroleum and mining geologist and oil spill response consultant from Switzerland, and his team found toxic contamination in all 28 samples collected from the water, lands and soil surrounding the Basamuk area. The report by the Conservation, Environment and Protection Authority was still pending when all 28 samples collected by Dr. Alex Mojan were presented to Madang Governor Peter Yama. The Madang Governor engaged his lawyer Ben Lomai to file a lawsuit to close the Ramu nickel mine in the Rai Coast district. He called on Prime Minister James Marape to support him and the people of Madang. Yama also stated that the mine can be an economic advantage for the country, but not at the cost of the lives of his people. Yama protested not to attend the parliament sessions until the national government unites with him to fight for the lives of his people. Despite the claims of the Madang provincial government, the Metallurgical Corporation of China, or the MCC, which is the company responsible for the nickel spill in Basamuk, still maintained their stand on being innocent of all these claims of environmental damage. According to lawyer Ben Lomai, the MCC has requested for 28 samples of tests conducted by Dr. Alex Mojan be brought forward to them so they could examine and comment. Wera Mori, the Minister for Environment and Conservation, supported this by stating that the scientific findings by Dr. Alex Mojan are baseless and untrue. He claimed that the Swiss doctor intends to tarnish the reputation of the PNG government. Mr. Mori strongly urged the people of Madang not to be fooled by fake reports until proven in a laboratory.
Although two investigations had already been carried out by the CEPA and Dr. Alex Mojan, locals in Madang called for a third independent investigation, and while Prime Minister James Marape did announce in Parliament that a third investigation team, led by Deputy Prime Minister David Stephen, the locals never did receive the third investigation. Ramu mine executives refused PNG scientists and medical practitioners under the national government, who were working together with international scientists, claiming that they were waiting for the official investigation announced by Prime Minister James Marape that was to be led by David Stephen. The mine made 27 billion kina since its operation, and the Madang government only received 5 million kina. Approximately 30,000 people living along the coastal areas of Madang were affected by the nickel spill and demanded that the government compensate them to keep them going while awaiting further reports. Back in 2011, a group of 800 to 1,000 landowners filed a case against the Ramu Nickel Company over deep sea tailings placement or DSTP. They had claimed that the spillings from the mine over the past years was the primary cause of the death of fish and other sea creatures. Prior to that, a meeting was held with the locals of the Basamuk area to discuss the impacts of the spill. Terry Kuning, a man from Mindira village near the Basamuk, held up a container filled with red contaminated seawater to emphasize to a group of 300 locals on the harmful effects of DSTP. Mr. Kuning is one of the Basamuk landowners who took the MCC and the government as far as the Supreme Court. The majority of Madang locals were hesitant on the banning of the dumping of waste into the river systems and sea. All of the 300 members of this meeting hailed from the Rai Coast district, and most of them spoke out about the bad health, environmental, and social effects of the DSTP in the Madang waters. They showed their support by stating, and I quote, "No DSTP, no dumping in our river systems." The members of the council, along with the president, Mr. Eliza Cass, proposed alternatives of DSTP such as land-based tailing system. Several people made references to Octary mining and the Fly River system and used this as a supportive pillar as to why there should be a stop to DSTP. The Madang people and the governor at the time, Jim Cass, made the submission of complaint to the PNG Constitutional Review Committee to ban DSTP in Madang Province and Papua New Guinea. The Chinese-owned Ramu Nickel mine faced the possibility of two lawsuits. The first was when 800 to 1,000 landowners from the Rai Coast area filed a case against the company over DSTP in 2011. They feared it was the cause of the change in color of the water and the poisoned sea animals like fish. The court had ruled in favor of the company, stating that there was no substantial evidence to prove the claim that DSTP was causing damage to the marine environment. This allowed the company to commence with its operations. The second involved the Madang government filing a case against the company for environmental damage based on the nickel spill of 200,000 liters of toxic slurry in 2019, which caused the sea to turn red. To support this claim, Governor Peter Yama stated that the court had ordered the company in 2011 to provide quarterly reports of their operations to the provincial government but have failed to do so. This is a form of breaching court orders. The Ramu Nickel mine uses the DSTP to dispose of its mine waste into the sea, has reportedly been releasing 1,700 liters of toxic waste into the ocean per hour, amounting to 14.2 million liters annually for 15 years now. Locals have stated that it is the government's negligence and ignorance to allow the company to practice DSTP without having a law in place to guide how their operations should be carried out.
Papua New Guinea has never had any oceans policy. This statement was made by the Secretary for the Department of Justice and Attorney General Dr. Eric Kwa. Dr. Kwa introduced the 3-day National Oceans Forum, which included university professors, provincial participants, statutory organizations, national government organizations, and Justice and Attorney General staff to come up with a national oceans policy. With the introduction of a new policy, development activities regarding water systems, especially oceans in PNG, will be controlled and penalties will be served for people or companies who break the law.
The social discourse over the Basamuk spill caused a great outrage and confusion, not just for Madang but for Papua New Guinea as a whole. Deep sea mine tailings placement is a process in which mineral oil is converted into slurry and transported through a pipeline to processing plants at the coast, where the waste is discharged into very deep water. This practice is harmful to the marine environment and to the livelihoods of the people who use the water as a source of food, water, and leisure. Hopefully, the introduction of new laws and policies, such as the National Oceans Policy, will help to protect and conserve the marine environment and sustain the livelihoods of many.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.